You've probably seen this happen, right? You walk into the room and there's your baby, just staring, not at you, not at a toy, but straight up at the ceiling, at what looks like absolutely nothing. It's kind of mysterious, like they're seeing something we can't. But what if I told you that blank stare is actually one of the most important things they do all day?
So let's get right into it. This is a question pretty much every new parent has. Why is my baby completely fascinated by a boring white ceiling? Are they just zoning out? Well, the short answer is a big no. It's actually a sign of some truly incredible work happening inside that tiny, developing mind.
You see, to understand why they're staring, you first have to understand how they're seeing. And spoiler alert, it's nothing like how you and I see the world. It all starts with their eyes, which are just built differently from ours at birth. Check out this number, 50 times. A newborn's eyes are 50 times less sensitive to light than an adult's. I mean, think about that. It means the bright, vibrant world that we take for granted is for them much, much dimmer. So what does that really mean in practice? Well, imagine you're looking at everything through a foggy window. That's kind of what it's like. They can only get things into sharp focus when they're about 8 to 12 inches away. The perfect distance for seeing a parent's face while they're being held. Everything else, it's just a big, beautiful blur. And this table really lays out the difference. Their focus distance is super limited. Their color vision, it's not about seeing a rainbow, it's all about high contrast, bold, simple shapes. And their ability to track things is still a bit jerky. So in this fuzzy world, it makes sense that they'd be drawn to the few things they can see clearly. Yeah, exactly. Since everything is a little blurry, they aren't looking for tiny details. They're looking for things that really stand out. Things like the dark line of your hair against your skin, or simple black and white patterns like these. These are the things that manage to pop out from the fog. Okay, so that's what their eyes are doing. But what about the brain? Well, that quiet little stare isn't just passive viewing. It's an active and absolutely crucial process. It's basically the brain's version of going to the gym. And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? When they're locked onto a light or a shadow, it's not for nothing. It is one of the most productive things their brain can be doing. They are hard at work building their entire visual system from scratch. So how does this brain workout actually work? Well, think of it like this. First, their eyes catch something with high contrast, maybe a light fixture. Instantly, neurons in their brain's visual center fire up. Every single time they look and focus, it's like they're laying down a new wire, creating a brand new connection. The more they stare, the stronger those connections get, and slowly but surely, their world starts to become clearer. Staring is literally how the eye and the brain learn to talk to each other. They're taking in all this new information, light, shapes, contrast, and using it to build a mental map of the world around them. It's an amazing process. Okay, so we know their vision is blurry and their brain is firing on all cylinders. But that still leaves our big question. Out of everything in the room, what is so darn special about the ceiling? Well, it turns out the ceiling is pretty much the perfect visual playground for a baby. I mean, think about it from their point of view. It's got everything. You've got high contrast objects, like dark fan blades against a bright white surface. You've got light fixtures and interesting shadows. And a ceiling fan, that slow, predictable movement is perfect for practicing their eye tracking skills. And sometimes, honestly, it's just calming. When the rest of the world is too loud and too much, a simple, unchanging view can be really soothing. This breaks it down even more. That ceiling fan isn't just a fan, it's a gym for their eye muscles. That boring ceiling light, it's providing the exact kind of intense contrast they need to build those neural maps. And even that simple line where the wall meets the ceiling, that's teaching their brain how to see edges and boundaries. It's all purposeful. So we've established that staring at the ceiling is totally normal and actually really good for them. But of course, as a parent, you want to know what's typical and when you might want to pay a little closer attention. So here's a really quick look at the milestones. In that first month or so, it's all about that close-up focus and high contrast. By 2 to 3 months, they should start tracking things more smoothly and recognizing faces. Then, around 4 to 6 months, their world just explodes with color and depth. And by their first birthday, wow, their vision is getting incredibly sharp. So what's the difference between normal staring and something to keep an eye on? Well, the biggest sign of healthy development is that you can eventually distract them. They'll look at the ceiling, for sure, but they'll also look at you and follow your movements.
If, maybe after 4 months or so, your baby consistently avoids looking at faces, or you just can't seem to redirect their attention, or their eyes don't seem to track together, that's just something worth bringing up at your next pediatrician visit. So, the big takeaway here is really simple. The next time you see your baby zoned out, looking up at the ceiling, I want you to remember they are not looking at nothing. They're looking at exactly what they need to be looking at in that moment. They are hard at work, making sense of a brand new world, strengthening their brain, and literally building their own universe, one high-contrast ceiling at a time. It's pretty incredible when you think about it, and it kind of makes you wonder, right? If a simple stare is this complex, what other little things that babies do are actually windows into the incredible, complex world being built inside their minds?